Yesterday, I listened to a Sunday episode on the daily podcast from the New York Times, and he talked about dating and how many people agree that it's just a complete nightmare to date right now. They don't like the swiping, they don't like the gamification of dating right now, and some people are turning into real life events to try to find partners, like people in the older generations used to do. And they covered these two events. One was this wrestle your crush event for 18 to 24, and it seemed really fun from the tape that they were able to get. They interviewed a couple of people and they seemed really cute. They seemed to have like a good vibe going on. And then the other one was more of your singles mixer, at a home hosted by a wine influencer. So it was a wine tasting and they had hors d'oeuvres and whatnot. And what caught my attention, and I honestly, like, my mouth hung open for a second, is how they said that the entry ticket for women were $100. Each woman had to pay $100 to attend this event. Men, on the other hand, were going in for free. They paid nothing to enter the event, and the rationale is that there's just less men willing to attend these games, or these events. They're not dating, they're not going, they're not interested in meeting anybody, so it's just extremely hard to find eligible people, men, to go and date straight women. And even with the price point being zero for men, only 4 men showed up to this event, including the producer of the episode. And it frankly reminded me of the pilot episode of Sex and the City, when Carrie's talking about how for the first time in Manhattan there are women that are making a lot of money, that are making decisions, that have upper mobility, that are doing all of these things that men used to do, and yet they couldn't find a man. They could not find a man. There was a lack of eligible bachelors in the city. As always, Sex and the City is right. I just can't believe that 30 years after the release of the show, almost 30 years, the situation has not changed and probably gotten worse.
So, how exactly down bad do you have to be as women in the US? Where in New York, and I'm sure other places are going to follow suit, where they're charging you $100 to get in. I'm sorry. They charging you, I'm sorry, I had it right. The $100 to get in. And they charging the men $0 because they're the hot commodity, because they need men. Okay, the ratio they say is 3-1. Now here's the thing: what women do, right? And it's like the gaslighting, the being, the hard headedness. It's not a word I know, but it shows you, right, how they say one thing and do the other. And always pay attention to women and people in general, not with what they say, but what they do, their actions. Because then they'll still get on the social media app, they'll still run their mouth like they don't need no man, but yeah, y'all are so down bad, and y'all continue to show up. $100 to get in, and then y'all still paid it to get in. For those who do not know, it's your boy Ken from Ken's Locked In. Hope you liked the video. I'm gonna just try to keep this channel just like a little short and sweet when it comes to like maybe like one reaction I'll do. Not really 4 reaction channels, but I'm going to just try it on this one because this stuff is interesting and it is a big epidemic and a problem in our dating scene in 2026. It's been like this for a very long time. Okay. So if you guys want to chill out, then just sit down, get your snacks or whatever, and we just going to deep dive. All right. So check this out. It's not just like in New York. There are places where there are clubs and, strip clubs. All this stuff is closing down because men fund these businesses. Sex sells, right? So any place you put women and you bring the, even if they're not that hot, they bring them in and they give them free drinks, and then it's usually the men that have to pay to get in because, hey, you surround the club with beautiful women or mid women. Guys ain't that picky. They'll come in and they'll try to buy a drink and try to get a chick by the end of the night. That's what they do. Guys aren't showing up. We're tired. Bro, all I do is play the game, work. No, okay, I'm going to tell you exactly what I do. I work out first in the morning. I go to the gym like 4 days a week. I go to yoga Fridays. And then I go to work, okay? And then I work on content, play the game. And then I might like occasionally go out to like a local bar where I'm at just because it's like up the street. I do believe in still putting yourself out there in the sense of, working out, looking good. Just because you're not dating as a man doesn't mean that you shouldn't be taking care of yourself. That goes for men and women. Still do that. It's your health. It's your mind and body. So don't just because you're not dating that you should just be watching porn all day whacking off. Okay? Still put your best foot forward and keep your mind healthy, because you still got to pay these bills out here, even if it's just you. But I'm going to tell you this right now, man. These women are down bad. And who do you think is going to show up to these events? Okay, as guys, because I'm going to say this right now. Now, you still had guys that will still show, because they get in for free, right? So why would they, like, hey, if you get in to see some chicks, why not, right? But here's the problem. You got guys who still are beta enough and stupid enough to still show up to these events, where women are still going to be very picky, right? That 6 foot tall, 6'7", Damien or whatever his name would be, ain't showing up to that. Why would he need to? Why would a guy who's at a level, who's at a rare height, that's 6'2", 6'3", would need to show up to these events? Why? Why would they need to? It makes $0.00. But these chicks will show up expecting that or hoping that. And then, mind you, the average woman in America weighs what? 170, 171? That's obese at her height at 5'4". And this is with the BMI metrics. Now, guys that are fat too, granted, they're obese as well too. It's obesity in this country that's the problem, right? Too much sugar, right? Work out, don't eat so much sugar, don't consume that much, right? Burn more calories than you take in. But the point is that you got women that will still be very picky. And here's the thing, they know they can go to their friend zone. They know that they can find guys. They know that they can find guys because they deemed 80% of men being unattractive. Makes no sense. It's why I don't feel bad. I don't. Like, they talk about our mental health and or let them be lonely. It's coping, it's cat, because you guys they are charging you $100 to get in and you actually show up. So at the end of the day, these people still made some money for their event. If they're not charging guys, right, and women are showing up, it just shows. I mean, I don't know how many women are showing up, honestly, but it just shows you, like, this is why I just tell guys at the end of the day, you got to start having boundaries as a man. I don't care how tall you are. I don't care how broke you are, how much money you make. Especially if you're making decent money, you better make sure that you are having boundaries. I call it the ATM. Don't give these chicks free attention. That's the A. Okay, I just came up with this today. Free attention. Don't give them free attention, because women attention is their currency. They need to know if they look good or not, even if they're very fat and basic. Okay, so don't give them free attention. Do not give them time. You should be doing what you need to do anyway as an adult, as a man, working on yourself, right? So that's part of that attention as well too. So don't give them your time for free, and definitely do not be just giving these chicks your resources. Don't give them the money. So ATM, attention, time, and money. Do not give it to them. That's my biggest take. Okay? Because I promise you, all of this is a waste of time. They always say, oh, just pay a bill. I want men to pay a bill. They say that stupid stuff, man. And it's like, well, at the end of the day, you are a single mother of 3. Your baby daddy was broke. He didn't have to pay a bill. Oh, but that's when I was younger. See, that's what I'm saying. See, at the end of the day, a lot of men, we're listening, ladies. We're watching what y'all say. We're watching that y'all are saying stupid stuff online. We're watching y'all say these things. Women act as if when they do these things, that like this is like a closed group chat. That they're talking to other women, or you got to pay to get in. They will say this stuff on TikTok, YouTube, IG, Facebook, whatever they own, as if men are not in the comment section just watching. It makes no sense to me. Okay? So that's my biggest take and my biggest thing. I don't want to rumble too much. I just think that it's very interesting and sad, because there's there's some do-overs in life, granted, but some things you just can't take back. You can't get your time back. This is why I say don't waste your time. You can get your money back and you can deprive somebody of attention, but you can't get your time back. Okay, and a lot of these women are post-wall. They don't have kids, or they are single mothers and they can't find a husband, because what man wants to sign up? What actual man? They say I'm trying to remember the saying. Please, and I hope I don't get this wrong. They said, like, every man you meet is a male, but not every male you meet is a man. That's true, because you got a lot of dudes out here who will play another man's saved game. You can't discipline the child when needed, because it's not your seed, and the kid knows it's not your seed. The mom knows it ain't your seed. So you basically just paying for what? And that kid just gonna disrespect you. She's still gonna cheat on you. And she living in your house. I done seen too many clips and videos of a dude taking in a single mom, living in his house, and she brought a dude over. He hooking up the PlayStation to his game. To his TV. He's lying in his bed. That man can get murdered for that. Okay? So that's my biggest take at the end of the day, is I don't feel bad for these chicks. because they've been told so many times, oh, I'm independent, and they made it funny and fashionable. Meanwhile, guys out here getting nothing. And I was close with this. They always act as if like, oh, there's no guys there. No, there are guys out there. They're just not. It's only like 14% of men that are over 6 feet tall. And then if you factor in the fact that, you know, they got to be a millionaire. I mean, girls up here saying, oh, well, a cool $200,000 is cool. It's okay money. It's how stupid they are, bro. They don't even understand how most people aren't making that money. There's only 15% of business owners around that number. Like, you know, and the guy you're talking about, he may not be single. He may be married. He may be gay. He probably won't be tall. There are places, man, I see places, like even when I work out, I see a bunch of older dudes with young chicks. They're not all looking like Chris Brown, dude. They're not all looking like Jason Tatum or whatever. They're not all looking like that. And then mind you, what do they have to settle for? A single mother with kids? Women only think about what they want, bro. It's crazy to me. And they're just so incoherent. They don't care what the man wants. They don't care what the man that they want would want. That's basically what that is. They don't care about that. They care about what they want, and that's it. And if they don't get it, I'd rather be single. It's like I go on vacation and it's a nice place, or I went to a nice restaurant, and then I got to go back to eating the regular stuff I can afford, or I got to live in a studio apartment that I can afford, but it's what I can afford. It is my place. So that's my whole point. That's my whole ramble. I just wanted to kind of just do that, man. But at the end of the day, I do not feel sorry for these chicks. Maybe the new batch of women will learn from this. The later generations, but it's looking real sad, man. So I appreciate you guys just watching this little background clip of some DBD and stuff like that. If you guys have anything to add to this, please let me know. What do you guys think about them charging $100? Even women paying in general just shows you just how bad it is out here. But the fact that it's $100. And then there are women actually signing up for that. And there are guys still showing, hey, free drinks, probably free food, red carpet layout. But where they get, but at the end of the day, the guy's not going to get chosen by any of the chicks unless it's a chick that's just like, I don't know. I'm definitely not going to that. I don't know any guy that's going to sign up for that. And then for the women, if there's any women that's saying this, I mean, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I don't know. I mean, please welcome to the channel. Please contribute. But I just think that at the end of the day, you know, you guys get what you deserve, man, at the end of the day. Like, nothing's free in life. You can't just think you can just deserve. I can't sit here and say I demand I get paid $100,000 a year, but I don't have the credentials. And only women have this mentality where they think that they qualify for something that they just simply do not. You're not hot enough. With guys, it's very simple. We know what we want. We know what we don't want a wife. Just because we'll hit doesn't mean we'll commit. I don't know anybody ever said that, but that's my thing. Just because we'll hit does not mean we will commit. And so I'm just letting these women know right now, stop thinking that your value is higher than what it is. Your value is the guy that will actually put a ring on it. A guy that will actually adore you. He's not a guy that just because he'll smash you on a Friday. I've known chicks who that was the thing, you know. They liked the guy that was way more than them, and that's just how that was. So, but hey, anyway, I'm rambling too much. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. You guys have a blessed day. Stay safe. Nothing else. Peace.